Welcome to the world-renowned Invest in Her podcast with your host, Catherine Gray. Catherine is a keynote and TEDx speaker, author, executive producer of the movie Show Her the Money, also CEO and founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. Our weekly show of powerhouse women, founders, funders, and changemakers is sure to inspire you. Let's go.
Welcome to this week's special episode of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation and executive producer of Show Her the Money movie. And I'm excited to have you with us today because after 450 episodes, this is a special one because I'm doing it solo. That's right, no guest today because I want to give you the behind the scenes of both the Show Her the Money movie and the book. That's right, I said the book, and it comes out today. Now, why did we make a book? Well, I've come to realize that not only did the people in the movie have amazing stories, but also the women that helped create the movie, the investors that I call the associate producers, and the women and the men that helped us make this possible all had such extraordinary stories. I knew we had to make a book about it. Just to give you an example, one of the investors was Sarah Dusek. She used to work for nonprofits, but she ended up creating a business that she sold for $100 million. And now she gives back and pays it forward with Enigma Ventures. And she's starting a new endeavor. I knew this was a story that had to be told. And all of them are as exciting and interesting as that. Inspirational, giving you hope, giving you motivation. And so I knew we had to make this book. It's like a mini coffee table style book, and you're going to want one. Share it with others, and it's available today on Amazon or wherever you get your books. So we're super excited to share that with you. So today is really a behind the scenes of how and why and where and when we made the movie and the book. So let's start with the fact that this is the why. Women get only 2% of venture capital funding, as we all know by now. And how are we going to create gender equity? Because if we don't do something, it's going to take over 100 years. Yeah, over 100 years. So what could we be doing? And that's really what the movie and the book was about, is how we can do that. It gave me a platform to do some women-splaining about how we're going to fix this inequity. And so that's why we did it. So the where, so many people ask me about where are the people in the movie now? What happened with them? It's all good news, thank goodness. And so, Vicky and Charisse from Dapper Boy are now on Nordstrom and expanding to Europe. Deepa Khosla, who owns Indie Wild with her husband, they too expanding rapidly, just got $5 million infusion. You're going to be seeing their products in Sephora. Marion Leitner from Archer Brews doing gangbusters with their wine product. Now they're not only on just JetBlue, but other airlines. They're in stadiums. You'll see them at concerts, at sporting events, in hotels. They are just expanding like crazy. And Jasmine, how about Jasmine Jones? Also expanding. Recently got another $100,000 grant or cash infusion from an investor from a TV show. The book will even tell you more, so be sure to check that out online today. So excited about that. So how do we raise money? People always ask me how we raise the money for the movie. And I have to say, it's not easy, but you can make it fun. And by that, I mean, go to these events and meet like-minded people. When you're dealing with like-minded people, it's enjoyable to raise money and to build a company or to build a project. And so I was fortunate enough to kick off my fundraising by having an introduction to my first investor, who was Dawn LaFrida. And Dawn was sitting on a plane next to a guy who happened to be in venture capital. And she said, I'm thinking about investing in this movie about how women only get 2%. And he said, that is really true. Women only get 2% and men get 98%. And she, at that time, said a light bulb went off. She said, I'm in. And that, of course, led to other investors because once you have your first investor, it's much easier to get the subsequent ones. And often your investors will have other people in their circle that will know and trust them and then go ahead and invest in whatever they're recommending. And that's really how that process works. You don't really have to know the how, though. You just have to know the why. And then you have to take the actions to go out and meet your like-minded people who believe in what you're doing. And we, I think, overcomplicate it. So that's just how we got started. And it was a great experience meeting these people that are in the book. It's my love letter to them, this book, because it gets to showcase all of their amazing stories, which brings me to the fact that I don't know how many of you are Mel Robbins fans, but I am. And one of the things I recently heard on her podcast was, how do you measure success? And one of the ways is how much money did you make? But there are other ways too, like how much fun did you have? And I'm so proud to say my investors have told me this is one of the most fun things that they've ever invested in. And that makes me happy because I think that is success. And so we're going to share some of that with you today about the journey and how we kicked off the movie journey. Before we did the film festivals, we did a screening at the Soho House in West Hollywood just for the investors. And it was very well received. But it's not the same, of course, as, when you are showing it to people that you don't know. Like that's the real smell test, right? But it went great. We also had, previous to that, had a wrap party when we finished filming for everybody who had invested in the film or had donated to our nonprofit funding for the film. So that was an amazing way to thank all of our investors. We had that wrap party at Ellen Chen's, amazing live music and food and fun, and it was just magical. And then after that, and I think it's so important to make your investors feel that camaraderie, like we're all in this movement together, right? And we definitely tried to bring people together at these kind of gatherings throughout the last couple of years so that they would connect and actually do business with each other. Like you put a lot of brilliant people in the room, men and women, because we had men investing in our film as well, John Majeski and Lorenzo Theon from Gangels. So we need those male allies, of course, but we also need more women to invest in venture capital. And the best way to do that is to get them to learn about it. And these women that are on my team and the men, they knew that we needed this tool to take around the world and educate women. So speaking of taking it around the world, it was two women at Wells Fargo that championed this. Ruth Jacks and Judith Goldcran from Wells Fargo had championed them getting behind our tour. And that's what made our tour possible, was getting a corporate sponsor. I highly recommend that to not only filmmakers, but those of you putting on events. The corporate sponsors are everything and making it possible. And so before we started our tour, though, we did those two that I just talked about. We did the wrap party, we did the Soho House screening for investors with a party after that. And then we decided to do the film festival circuit first to hopefully get awards and get recognized, give some gravitas before we started our tour. So the film festival circuit was super fun and how we kicked off the film into the public. And our very first film screening was at the Women's Film Festival in Philadelphia. And a group of us from the film went there, me and the director, Kai Dickens, and several of the people in the film. And we arrived there, we did not know what to expect. And what we came into was about an audience of about 300 people, and we still didn't know what to expect. And the film played, and people clapped and cheered throughout the whole movie. And the director of the film festival said she'd never seen that, especially with the documentary, like never. And it was such a celebration after. They had a big party for us. And Kai and I kind of looked at each other and said, wow, is every city going to be this receptive? We could only hope and wish. And we won the best feature documentary at that festival. And then went on to win that same award at other festivals, Fort Lauderdale, Twin Cities, many others. We also got into the prestigious Santa Barbara Festival. We got into the prestigious South by Southwest Educational Week. And the film festival circuit was just on fire, fun, well received wherever we went. And we really knew the most important step for us was going to be the worldwide tour, because that's where we were really going to be reaching entrepreneurs and investors, different audience than the film festivals. And so after the film festivals, which were absolutely incredible, and we got the awards that we had hoped for, we put those on our movie poster, and then we began to plan our theatrical premieres so we could be up for the Academy Awards. And we did end up on the Academy Award consideration list, which was super exciting after we launched our premieres in LA and New York. And prior to those premieres, I had said, you know what, we're going to do a 50 city tour. Most films, I think, will do about, anywhere from 10 cities to maybe 25. And I said, we're doing a 50 city tour. I did not know how that was going to happen. And so the universe just had my back, had our back. And what happened was, when we played for a week in the Lumley Theater here in LA, and we played a week in the theater in New York, the momentum just picked up, and it organically took on a life of its own. And we were being contacted not only all over the country, but from countries all over the world to show our film in their city. And that's what happened. And one of our stops was Seattle, Washington, the University of Washington. We did many universities, and University of Washington has a entrepreneurial innovation center. And I'm going to roll a clip right now, the testimonials that were taken after that film screening.
Oh my God, what an amazing movie.
I loved it. It was inspirational and motivating.
I felt that the film was very informative, but it was also really, really inspiring. Just seeing 400 or so women in the room, all on the same page and all with the same mission, I feel fired up.
So as a Mexican-American female founder, seeing that movie was in every way like seeing myself.
It was amazing.
Incredible. It was so inspiring.
Really focused on impact. I think that was just something we saw throughout the film, and it was something that was so touching and so meaningful, and I'm so excited to see what the future brings.
It was just amazing to see the journey that other people go through. I can't wait for part 2.
So you probably saw how that captured the joy and the excitement of our film from that one testimonial video. And if you visit our website, we have many testimonial videos. ShowHerTheMoneyMovie.com is filled with resources and where the screenings are, and now where the book launches will be. And people can also license the film and sign up for their own screening on our website. So we continue the tour, even though we've done over 100 city tour, over 200 screenings in person. And the reason that we did it in person is this is This is, as we say, a movement. And a movement without action just isn't a movement. And so, in order to create that, we had to bring people in the room together to experience the film together so they could talk about it, converse about the topic, so that we could talk about actions to take to fix this underfunding of women in the venture capital world and how we collectively can solve this problem and how we're already on a road to do that. It's just keeping it strong and steady. And so, I want to talk about the tour itself. I'm going to put up some photos from the tour. It was absolutely magical in every city we went to. The excitement, the energy was palpable. It was magic in every place that we played the film. And I think it's because of a couple of things. One thing is in the film, we cover all three sectors of women that make up this ecosystem. So they saw themselves in the film, whether they were a founder of a venture capital fund, which there'd never been a film about the women founders in venture capital. They're the unsung heroes raising millions of dollars to invest in women, and yet nobody even knew about them until now. Then the film shed a light on women who are investing in these funds, and they're making it possible to change this and letting the audience know you could be one of those people. Whether you are like Dawn LaFrida in our film, who's a super successful businesswoman owning over 75 Denny's, more restaurants than any woman in the country, or like Wendy Ryan, who shares with us that she inherited family funds in order to invest. And what are those women and going to be doing with that money in this large transfer of wealth that's coming up? Hopefully, they're going to realize how important venture capital is and how we need to fund more women in order to impact the future in a positive way. And that's what the film does, as well as presenting the entrepreneurs with the innovative ideas, the third sector of women, and their incredible ideas and how important that they get made, how it affects everything from women's health to the environment to things for our children. So we tried to intersperse into this those three sectors and how they work together in venture capital. The women starting the funds, the women investing in the funds, and then the women who are the recipients of those funds that otherwise would not be getting funding. And so that really was the magic of the tour, is finding in every city people were excited to see this movie because it spoke to them in some capacity. Those entrepreneurs no longer felt like they were alone. They were like, oh my God, I am not in this alone, and I'm not the only one having this experience of challenges. But our movie gave people hope, and they left that room knowing they could be an investor, that they could be a founder and get funding, and knowing that all of this is possible if we all come together. You know, I always say, and you've heard me say it before, there really is an old boys club, but nobody wants to belong to the old girls club. So we have to put a B in front of it. We have to create our own bold girls club. And I think we're doing that. I've literally seen more people coming together and creating these incredible women's groups. They're so powerful, global, local, national. I've seen a momentum of them coming. And to put yourself in a circle of like-minded people is so powerful to building your business in every capacity, whether it's getting funding or scaling your business. And now all of a sudden, we're starting to have all those resources at our fingertips. And that is going to be a game changer and already is. And so we have some things coming down the pike, working on a docuseries. We're working on an educational series to educate women at a younger age, high school, college, university, about venture as a career path, as an investment path, and also as a funding path. And so we want women to know at a younger age that this is a possibility, a lane they can go in, a path they can take, that we didn't have before. because women have only really been in venture capital for the past 10 years. Any of you listening that get into this arena are really pioneers in this business. Very few women have been in it longer than a decade, maybe at the most 2 decades. And that I could probably count on 1 or 2 hands the number of women have been in it for that long. So it really is an opportunity to get on the ground floor of something super game changing that can make such an impact in the world. Because if women have, let's say, the cure for breast cancer, or let's say women have some new product that helps with some other health issue for a man or woman, or something that is a better food product, or maybe it's something that helps the environment. If they don't get the funding, then those inventions and innovations that they've gotten the download for will never see the light of day. But the beauty of venture capital and investing early in these companies is it also can be an opportunity to build your wealth as well as leave your legacy. And that's what men have been doing for years. They put money into something in the early stages because by the time it hits the public market, it really has seen so much profit that there's very little left for it to actually, give back to the investor. And so most of the money is made in this arena. Of course, like any portfolio choices, you never want to put everything into one sector, but 2 to 5% of everyone's portfolio should be thinking about venture capital to help have an impact and a say-so on what are the future products and services that we're going to see to help build their wealth and to help make an impact. And why are we all here on the planet if not to make an impact, right? You don't have to have the great idea. You just have to meet somebody who does. And that's the beauty of going out and networking in the venture capital world, meeting the innovators. They're so brilliant. And so are the people that are the investors. They've already been there, done that. Many are operators. Many have had exits. Why not go and put yourself in that arena of venture capital, angel investing to meet other like-minded, brilliant, smart people and get to hear what are the new innovations that are coming down the pike. It's a very exciting arena to step into. I want to remind you that we have a book launch happening in several cities. So it's a screening plus a book launch in LA in July, July 19th and 20th this weekend. And also back in New York, August 18th and 20th. So check out those times and dates on our website, as well as other cities. And of course, you can book your own screening and book launch in your city. So visit our website, showherthemoneymovie.com. So I want to end today's show a little differently than I typically do. I want to share our Show Her the Money video with you that has our Show Her the Money song. Yes, we have our own song called Show Her the Money. It's in the movie. It runs over the credits. So if you haven't heard it, it's a special airing of that today. And I want to tell you who did that song. It is Amanda McBroom and Michelle Browerman, 2 icons in the music industry. And Michelle did the score for our movie as well. And if you don't know who Amanda McBroom is, you should, because she wrote the famous song, The Rose. And yes, her and Michelle wrote this song. Listen, enjoy, and thanks for tuning in.
She won't quit, she won't stop. She's gonna make it to the very top. There's nothing this woman can't do. There's just one thing that she needs from you now. Show her the money. Open up the door. A way to make a difference. That's what she's working for. Show her the money. Show her the money. When you give a woman equal chances, you got nothing to lose. Remember Fred and Ginger when they dance those dances? She did it backwards in high heel shoes, yeah. It's not about hisness. It's about the business of doing business. She doesn't need sympathy, doesn't need charity. Give the woman respect and parity. Hey, show her the money. Give her what she needs. Watch her hit the home run. Help her sow the seeds. She can make the world a better place. She's got the plan now. Give her the space and show her the money. Show her the money.